Always good. I might start. We have just a couple more minutes, but I will go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Amanda Lindahl, and I'm a volunteer at the uh, farm school. I'm a neighbor, and I have been involved for the past couple of years. Got started with the planting of the native plants, the construction of berms and swales in order to help kind of capture water on the farm and hold soil in place and provide habitat for native pollinators and all sorts of benefits to that project. But that's got me started, and I've been involved in the planting of the fruit tree orchard at the farm school as well. So there's so many different projects, and we'll always just put in, love being able to share and spend time there and get to know other folks. So there's always a spot and something good to do. So we have about one more minute, and then we will get started with Nadine. So I've known Nadine for many years too because of our community gardening community in Kansas City. So have loved getting to know her as an inspiring just community activist and grower of great food and of great people. So I have a little bit more of a background to share about Nadine. She is the co-founder and executive director of Well Inc., which is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that specializes in finding affordable housing for the homeless. So the organization has managed and grown over 60,000 pounds of food for the community since 2013. So Nadine is an awesome gardener and just like grower of people, because of course she didn't do that by herself. She gathered lots of people to get together and grow all that awesome food. And so they share it with elders, students, families, and single parent homes. So today, Nadine uses her wonderful voice on social media to spread the word about cooking, growing food, eating more fruits and vegetables, and taking care of ourselves as a whole. So Nadine is super special, and I have loved watching all the videos she shares on the social media. She's just so inspiring. In addition to cooking, preparing food, but just getting outside and enjoying the wonderful outdoors and moving the body is so healing. So, Nadine always says we're here to serve one another, and she just really is the epitome of that kind of message. And her tagline is, "We are what we eat. Let's cook." So, with thanks, Nadine, for joining us, and we're so excited to learn from you. So I'll pass it over.
All right. Thank you, Amanda, for that introduction, and thank you, the KC Farm School too, for inviting me to this platform. Uh, I just like to say that I give thanks to my ancestors, to all the people that came before me, and I want to just pay homage to my mother. That's where I get many of my gifts from. My passion for cooking and all that. So I'll get right into it. Uh, you know, uh, I was my description said that I was going to be here to share some recipes with you all today, and I'm going to share some food products and things that we can have as solutions to alternative to some of the things that's disturbing our health. But I want to talk about my own personal story just for a few minutes, and I'm passionate in this area of you know, I'm plant-based and I'm not vegan. I'm plant-based. That means that I eat I drink lots of water, seeds, nuts, fruits, vegetables, uh, herbs, spices, and use essential oils. Uh, and I crossed over to this journey because when I was coming up, my mother had 18 brothers and sisters. And the way that we were raised to eat were big plates of food. And it was always like a lot of pasta. And that's what we like today. We love pasta and we love pizza. And that's all, flour. But my point being, all these foods cause diabetes. these type of foods called diabetes, heart attacks, strokes, cancer in the body. And so today, I held off from talking about this for so long because I still have family members here, that have diabetes and amputations and are on dialysis. And so this is very, passionate to me. And when we started growing food in 2013, you know, it took it just took me to down a whole different road because this became so spiritual. You know how that is, Amanda. Being out there growing food and knowing that the sunlight, the moonlight, the rain, and just creation is doing all this work. And so, that's when I became, I think I just grew like maybe just a little bit more, more in reference to understanding why this food was so important and why we had to uh, share this food with the community. And so this is why, I'm so passionate about it. And once we start growing this food, a revolution took place. Not right away, but once people start coming down and really, participating in the garden and cooking their own food and it started tasting good. Then they started bringing the children down. They started bringing the family down, and everybody, got involved with the garden. And then people start sharing the food that they was cooking. Then people start asking about recipes and asking questions. So, growing food is so important. It's one of the best things that we can do because growing food is political. Food is political. Um, in the urban core, they say the food desert. But there's not a lot of really good food in the community where you can just go out to the store and get you some fruits and vegetables and lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. And so, is that my phone? I'm sorry. Uh, so my point is, for anyone that's listening, you all, I'm so proud of the people that's growing food. Just keep growing food and then you share your food with other people. And then, we start to cook our own food because, I'm in the science now of how do we get here? We got here by not understanding how the body works and not understanding about the food that we were eating. Not eating having access to lots of fruits and vegetables and drinking a lot of water. We start drinking a lot of pop and juices and things like that. So that's my passion. I got some sticky things up on the wall. So and I just want to, say to people, just keep growing your food. I already said that, but keep growing your food. Do the best you can by eliminating processed foods. And here's how we're going to change the next generation. It's when we change ourselves. When we start to eat lots of fruits and vegetables and start cooking our food and making really quick meals, we'll start to change things in our household. And remember, y'all, the children don't go out and work and bring this food in the house. We do. We have to set the precedence of what we're bringing into our homes and cooking, and that's how we start this revolution with saving the next generation. That's what, that's what it takes. Like Harriet Tubman, when she decided she was going to free herself, Harriet Tubman left and she freed herself. And once she got established, then she went back to get other people. And so that's the same thing with the food that we're eating today. We have to, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to tell anybody what they need to do. But this is how I know this is what changes, in our community. All right. And then the next thing, I have some different items here that I want to share with everybody, like alternatives to white rice. And, people say, well, what can I do to replace meat? Well, some things you just don't replace. If I'm in an abusive relationship, I don't want to say like, what am I going to do? We have to be strong and just try to be consistent. And everything it just happened for us. I'm telling you, but you got to start somewhere and you want to stay with it. All right. And then the next thing I wanted to do, I wanted to offer some doctors' names that you can follow that has really made a big transition in the community. The first name is Dr. Milton Mills. Dr. Milton Mills, Gigi invited him to the Vegan Fest last year. And he came down, he's on YouTube. He's plant-based and he's a doctor. He gives a lot of great information out. Dr. Baxter Montgomery. Dr. Baxter Montgomery is a cardiologist. And he was practicing for so long and he started to see all these problems with people constantly coming in with, heart problems, diabetes or whatever. And he changed it and he opened up a facility where everything is plant-based. And now he uses food as medicine. So Dr. Baxter Montgomery and his medical facility is in, he's the director of the Montgomery Heart and Wellness Institute. Okay, and then lastly, have you all ever read the China Study? It's a book by Dr. T. Colin Campbell, the China Study. It's all about how we got here and what we could do to change our health. And then I have a few documentaries here. What the Health? I know you've seen that, Amanda. What the Health? Forks Over Knives. What the Health? All these are on Netflix. What the Health? Forks Over Knives. And the latest one is Game Changers. All right. These are all about plant-based eating and how you can transition into it. All right. I think that's about it. And guess what? Did y'all, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Did y'all know that I like to cook? I can't hear you, Amanda.
Yes. I know you like to cook.
Okay. And so, when I do these cooking videos and these smoothies videos all the time, I always try to encourage people and tell them, you can do this. These meals are under 15 minutes, they just 15-minute prep time, 10 minutes to make a salad, less than 30 minutes. All right. How am I doing on time?
You got plenty of time.
Okay. All right.
30 minutes.
I do? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All
we'll,
right.
We'll leave about 10 minutes for questions at the end. So we'll say you have 25 minutes.
Okay. All right. And then the next thing I want to move into is solutions. Okay. You all, drinking water is so important. Have you ever felt angry for like agitated or low in your spirit or lethargic or, just all these different things hydration causes all these different symptoms. And when we continue to drink more water, we'll stay hydrated. We'll eliminate better. Our brain functions, better. All right. So we want to drink more water. We want to eat more fruits, more vegetables, lots of spices, seeds, and nuts. All right? Okay. All right. So right now I'm getting ready to I'm going to show you all some of the things that I use in place of when I talk about not using, staying away from so much pasta, and I like pasta too. All right. But here's Can you all see that real good, Amanda? All right. This right here, this is red lentils. No flour, no sugar, just one ingredient. Just one ingredient. Really good. Cooks up in 2 minutes. Your chickpeas. All these are full of plant-based proteins. One ingredient. Chickpea flour, lentil flour. And then here's another alternative for noodles. This is your kelp noodles. Your kelp noodles are from the ocean. There's no flour, no sugar, just kelp. It's loaded with lots of nutrients and lots of vitamins. Okay? All right, that's it for like the pastas. Okay, so in place of using eating a lot of white rice, you can use quinoa. Your quinoa is a whole grain that's full of lots of amino acids, cooks up in about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, and then your black rice. You can use black rice instead of white rice. Your black rice is just loaded full of antioxidants, lots of vitamins, and lots of minerals. You all, we want nutrients. We want nutrients. We want vitamins. We want minerals. We want all these elements that we are already made up of. Lots of copper and zinc and things that are grown in the sun, the moonlight, the rain, and the water. Okay? These are dried, uh, I can't even say it, hibiscus flowers. These are dried hibiscus flowers, and look at those beautiful purple colors. We want teas. We want to get loose leaf teas and teas that are dried that we know that you really get lots of vitamins and minerals. And then here's some red quinoa. We can still use this instead of rice. Okay? Am I doing too much? Giving them too much? All right.
You're perfect.
Okay. Now,
Share
let's
your knowledge.
Okay, now we're gonna go over into, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna go over to colors. You all, if you can't remember anything else, when you start going to the store and shopping for yourself and your family, you want colors in that basket. You can go to the farmers markets. There's farmers markets everywhere. They're still open. But you want colors. This is a orange heirloom tomatoes. We want foods that we don't have to turn over and read the ingredients on. We want a plethora of foods that that's just came from the earth and that's it. You don't have to read the ingredients. But guess what? I want you reading those ingredients. You got to turn those packages over and read those ingredients, you all, because now I wish I had something in here that I could show you, but I don't. When you go, now you have to read all the way to the bottom. Please hear me. You have to read all the way to the bottom now. And when you get down to the bottom, it's going to tell you if it's been processed in a facility that has milk, soy, and nuts. All of these things that a lot of people that are allergic to. We are lactose, especially Black people, like myself. We are lactose intolerant, just like a lot of Caucasian people, white people, or what is that, celiac? You know, they can't process that gluten, and we can't process it either. Because guess what? You know why they call it gluten? See, I'm getting off track. Because it's glue. Because it sits like glue in the gut. It sits like glue in the gut, and we don't eliminate like we should. It's like having a backup on the freeway. You know what a backup on the freeway looks like? You can't get through those cars, can you? You can't get, and that's how some of this food sits in our gut. All right, so green and then yellow, and all these foods are inexpensive. Yellow, Then look at your purple onion. Did you know the next time you get ready to cook, don't wash your onions real good. But the next time you get ready to cook, don't throw the skins of your onions away. Put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. And you can use them to make stock. When you start, saving little parts of your vegetables, your skin is loaded with antioxidants. Okay? And then garlic, and garlic still got the stem on it. All right, we want onions and garlic. We want lots of onions, lots of garlic. You know, they really are good for. And I dried these peppers out myself. These were jalapeno peppers. Look at them. They're red now. We want peppers. Peppers, especially cayenne pepper. The capsaicin is really good for the gut. Your ginger root is really, really good for the gut. Okay. Um, and guess what? When you open up the walnut, guess what it looks like? It looks just like our brain, don't it, Amanda? Okay, you all. That's it. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Oh, get these red beans. Okay, you want lots of you want lots of fiber in the body. And a lot of people say, well, I don't eat beans because they give me gas. You know why they give us gas? Because we don't eat them enough. We don't eat them enough. And so the body, you know, it just doesn't recognize you want to eat them more. I always soak my beans overnight in a heaping tablespoon of baking soda. And I rinse them out really well before I cook them. I promise you, you watch, it's going to alleviate the gas. All right, I'm just giving y'all so many jewels. Y'all. Okay, here's the mung beans. This is greens. You know, we want lots of green food. Uh, like peas, frozen peas, and things like that are really good. And then here's another good staple food, the famous navy bean. All right? Okay. Okay. I think that's about it. I did want to say something about sour foods. Amanda, I remember when came to your class when you taught us how to make a sauerkraut. Yeah, and that sauerkraut really does, change the gut. Your sauerkraut, your dill pickles, your mustard, your olives. We want sour foods. Okay. All right. I think that's about it. I talked about how we'll save the next generation. Yes, I do. I got stickies up here, y'all. I sure do. Okay. Uh okay. I want to say this. I'm still talking about drinking water. It's so important that we drink water. And guess what else? It's so important that we try really hard to, to stay away from being so stressed. Stress affects the whole body. It affects the brain, our thinking, our heart, our stomach. Do you know many times we get illnesses, you can still eat healthy, but we have to really, try to practice not being stressed. And I do it by, when I find myself doing that, I take some really deep breaths, really deep breaths, fill up my lungs and then slow hold it for about 4 seconds and then blow it out my mouth. I promise you it helps. All right. So deep breaths and then moving. Some of us are not able to move, and I understand that. But you'd be surprised at what you could do sitting down. If I had time, I'd do some demonstrations for you. But move as much as you can, you all. Move. Turn some music on. As a matter of fact, I am gonna turn some music on before I go. You want to turn some music on. Say like if you low in your spirit and you got to talk yourself into doing some, turn some music on. Get to, when you want to clean, you can clean the house up. You know that's working out, mopping the floors. Just do whatever you can. Open up your windows and get some fresh air. But if you're able, come outside and get you some fresh air. You know, get outside and walk. You don't need fancy attire, you know, to get outside and breathe fresh air and really move and take good care of yourself. Okay. And then the next thing, call your family. Call your family. I wish I could call my mother. Call your family, call your aunts, call people that are important to you. Don't put it off. I started making a list, and this is just what I do. Every week, I call at least 5 to 7 people, my family members and my friends. And then if I start thinking about someone, you know, like they stay on my heart, I'll call them, and they was thinking about me. All right, call your family. I'm not talking about text messaging. Call them or even go see them. Okay, and then call your friends. All right. All right, I think that's it. Now, you can do this.
That's right. Nadine, we have one question. What do you recommend for sauces?
Wait a minute. I want y'all to hear this right now.
Oh,
Y'all can move, y'all. Okay. All right, I'm listening.
the question from Jennifer was, what do you recommend for sauces?
What do I recommend for sauces? Tahini is my favorite. Tahini is my favorite, and you can make your own sauces. You know, some of the best sauce you can make is out of, I didn't put these dried mushrooms. You know, are you plant-based?
You just tell us what you would recommend.
I'll just tell you what, okay. My go-to sauce is tahini, and I'm gonna tell you why. Tahini is this isn't oil. This is ground up sesame seeds. And all the oil is extracted from it naturally. And I stay away from oils. So if anybody want to ask me what's the best oil, I don't have an answer for what's the best oil. I can tell you what some of the worst oils are. But tahini is a go-to. I try it. Try it. I put it on a lot of things. Like I use like the nutritional yeast. I use that a lot too, you know, because I need all these nutrients.
That's right. Courtney noticed on Instagram that you said you aren't eating dates right now. Why is that?
I only did that for Courtney, y'all paying attention. All right. I only did that for 1 week. I wanted to go sour, you know, so I wasn't eating any dates that week. And I eat dates almost every day in my smoothies. Dates are excellent. They're full loaded with minerals, you know. So that's the only reason why I was going sour all week.
All right. Um, so Alicia asked, how do you move forward without anger for how things have been?
Say that again.
How do you move forward without anger for how things have been?
How housing have been?
How just things in the world have been kind of terrible. So how do you move forward without anger?
I move forward, well, because I'm older now, but I used to be very militant and I didn't understand the things then that I understand now. But I move forward without anger because I know that uh, my anger can, you know, drizzle off into other areas. So I have to watch myself too. And so today my main objective is to try to offer solutions. You know, I can get on here and talk about everything that's wrong. I know what's wrong, you know, but just to offer solutions. And I do be angry, but y'all don't see it.
We love your energy and positive attitude. So we can just
It's a
do it.
healthy, yeah.
But it's all those fruits and vegetables and moving that keeps you positive, right?
Yeah, and you know, you all, I study a lot. I do post on social media every day, but guess what? I post and I get off. You know, I study a lot, I read a lot. I read, you know, I read books, and you know, I study, and I, you know, I talk to my family and stuff. So yeah.
All right. Folks, if you have more questions, feel free to put them in that chat. Another Why don't you share a little bit about how when you're making a smoothie, like what are the base things that are key components to a great smoothie? Because I know you do a lot of those.
Okay. Let me say this. Let me say this first. Why? So you know, before I forget, smoothies. Smoothies are one of the best foods you can make for yourself. And the reason why is we've been trained to eat fast and to not chew our food up properly. And when you make smoothies, your blender grinds up your food for you, and then you drink. And so that's really good on your digestive system. So I recommend whatever it is that you like. If you don't like it, you're not gonna stick with it. Okay. So if you know, kale, a blueberry, I recommend a lot of berries. That's off the top. Lots of berries. And then, you know, I still use a lot of ginger and things like that. But you all, I use a lot of spices because your spices are your antimicrobials. They fight bacteria in the body, and they fight fungus in the body. They help eliminate, uh, you know, a lot of the free radicals that's inside of our gut. So spices like nutmeg, uh, allspice, star anise, cinnamon, juniper berries. You know, if I pulled out my spices, y'all wouldn't even be able to look in this room. Yeah. I hope I answered your question. The main thing to remember though, you notice my smoothies are never really thick, because I like my smoothies watery so I can get lots of liquids in my body. But
That's right.
you can add bananas, barrel bananas, and I use a lot of avocados. I eat avocados all the time. So you can put those in your smoothies. But you are the best thing you can do is get creative. Do your
That's
thing. Do what you like. If whatever you like, cranberry, throw that stuff in that blender, and guess what? You get ready to have all those vitamins and minerals that you wouldn't normally get because you put them in the blender, and the flavors marry one another. I
That's
hope
right.
hope I answered your question.
That's great. Uh, Jennifer asked, "What is your favorite breakfast?"
Water. I don't eat breakfast, Jennifer. Um, and they call it intermittent fasting, but like after about 7, you know, I'm up at 4 or 5 in the morning, so you know, I'm going like 12 or 15 hours without any food because I drink my smoothie after my workout. uh, yeah, but here's what I can recommend for you. You know, you want steel cut oatmeal, and you can load it up with berries and bananas and walnuts and things like that. But you want to try to grind your nuts up or cut them up so you can chew them really well. And then the one thing that I recommend is called, oh God, let me see. Do I have it right here? Oh, here it is. This is one of the best. This is cream of buckwheat. And I eat breakfast foods at night sometimes. Okay. You know why this is so good? Because this is not wheat. Buckwheat is a whole grain. And I want y'all to look it up. You can buy buckwheat flour. This is one of the best hot cereals that you can get and make for yourself, okay? All right. It's really good too. It tastes just like cream of wheat, but it's a little bit more hearty. Hope that
That's
answers
great.
your question.
Yeah, I was just going to add buckwheat. You can plant it in your garden too as a cover crop and it will feed the soil too.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Next question is, how do you feel about plant milks?
How do I feel about plant milks? I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like we should make them ourselves because today is so much cross contamination. So and then you don't want all those different ingredients in your store-bought milks. You can I did some videos on cashew milk. I made a almond milk and I did cashew milk. It may be way down in my news feed. But yeah, we know they're not milk, but they call them milk because they white, I guess. But yeah, those are really good because what you're doing is you have broke down that nut and it's going to really give you lots of fiber and lots of nutrients because we don't chew our nuts up good. So right on, do that nut milk. Make your own if you can, okay? Put your a hand, like maybe 10 or 15 nuts in your hand, throw them in the blender and put you about 20 ounces of water in there, and there you have your milk. And I will, just because you all asked it, this week I'll try to do some more videos on how to make almond milk and cashew milk because it's probably way down there in the news feed.
All right. Nadine, will you share a little bit about your exercise classes? You
Okay,
host different exercise classes?
but what do I
Do
say?
you? I just asked, do you host exercise classes?
I do not host exercise classes, but I do personal training on the side, just
Oh,
few people that are really serious. Uh, but my routine is I don't run like I used to anymore because I just kept losing too much weight. And I was addicted to running like, 7, 8 miles a day. So yeah. But my routine consists of I do the wheel. I got a wheel over there that I use for my abdominals. Um, and I do stretching. A lot of people, it's in the same family as yoga, but stretching is one of the best things you could do if you can't work out. Did I? I'm gonna say that again. Stretching is one of the best things you could do if you can't work out. If you have a pet, pay attention. When they get up in the morning, what do? They stretch. All right.
that's right. Can you please show us again how they stretch?
They
It's
do.
good.
They go all the way out there, don't they, girl? They
That's
do.
right.
They do. They stress. They do because they know the sign. They know the secret. They still in tune with nature. Okay. Then
That's right.
I do a lot of walking. And then I do strength training. As well. But the best workout I do is on my spirit. You are. You know what I mean? That was one of the best things that ever happened to me is when I became when I started growing in my spirit. Uh, and many times, so much pressure out here today with people, want to look good, they want to work out, and so many times we do things for the wrong reason. But when things start to really grow in your spirit, that's when you'll really start to hopefully stick with it. You know, you get committed. You want to be committed, and yeah. So everything I talked about today, I practice this. I really practice being honest and open, with my life. Uh, and I look at everything like an investment. You know, like, you want to, we want to invest in one another, because when you do good, I do good. We want to help one another, and it starts at home. It starts at home. It starts right here with ourselves first. But, we want to keep investing in each other. And when we start to invest in each other, you'll start to see a change. That's when the magic happens. That's when the revolution starts. We want to invest in each other. All this stuff about me, and all that. I'm not. I really try to stay focused on how can I help serve somebody else, because that's helping me too.
Woo! Preach it, sister. It's it's good. Well, I don't see any more questions. So we'll just thank you so much, Nadine, for sharing your passion and enthusiasm and energy. I'm always inspired when I get to hang out with you. Um, so
Man.
thanks to our attendees for tuning in to learn from Nadine. And as you can see, her Instagram, Nadine Plant Based. Be sure to follow her there. If you happen to be lucky to be a Facebook friend of hers, she posts those videos on Facebook as well. So check it out. Be sure to contact her